Hey everyone, it's Coach Matt over at Primal Athlete Training Center. Coming to you today, we're going to start our video series on the discus. If you followed along with our 9 videos that we did for the shot put a few weeks ago, we're now going to continue that idea. We're going to be doing a lot of videos on the discus. Now the discus is an event which is a lot tougher to break down than the shot. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of places where errors might occur, when faults might occur. So we're going to be doing a lot of videos, which means that you guys need to subscribe to this channel. That little gray button right up there, please push that button. You'll get an email whenever a new video comes out. That way you can watch the video, find out that fault, that correction, that tip or the trick or whatever the video is on, and be able to take that out to practice the next day and improve your throw immediately. Now today we're going to be talking about selecting the right discus for you. Now, if you've been in any track and field catalogs, and if you've been on any track and field sales websites, you're going to see that there are typically 4 different categories of discus. You've got your center weighted, which is about 50% rim weight. You've got your low spin, which is about 65% rim weight. You've got your high spin, which is 75% rim weight. And you've got your very high spin, which is around 85% rim weight. Well, what does that mean? Rim weight is basically the ratio or the percentage of the weight of the discus that is the rim. So if you have a 50% rim weight discus, that means that the rim is 50% of the total weight, and everything else, the plates, the bolts, the washers, the bolts and nuts on the inside, everything that holds it up is the other 50%. How do you know which one is right for you? Well, it all depends really on your style of throwing, your experience, and how far you throw, and the type of form and technique. A lot goes into it. But a general rule of thumb is that if you're a beginner athlete, if you're somebody who's only been doing it for a year or two, you're throwing, if you're a guy, you're throwing under 100 feet or around 100, 110 feet, you want to stay with that center weighted discus. Center weighted discs are a lot more of a forgiving implement, much like a golf club. If you went out and bought the most expensive set of golf clubs that you can find, that's not going to make you Tiger Woods. If anything, hitting that really expensive set of golf clubs is only going to make you hit the ball worse. You want to get a beginner set, one that's a little bit more forgiving of a set, one that has a little bit higher loft. That way, when you're not hitting it perfect every time, at least the ball is still going to go somewhere. Same idea with the discus. When you're first starting out, when you're first learning how to throw, when you're first learning how to apply spin on the rim of the discus, you need something that's a little bit more evenly balanced to about 50-50. That way, if you don't throw it perfect every time, it's still going to go somewhere. Now, when you're throwing around the 130 foot range, 120, 130, 140, right in that range, that's when you would start to experiment with a low spin discus, something that's around 65% rim weight. At this point, you probably have a good idea of the form and the technique. You're probably able to apply a lot more strength, a lot more whip onto that discus and get it spinning in the air a little bit better. So in that instance, it's going to be a little bit more of a benefit for you to use something that's a little bit higher rim weight. Now, throwers that are using a low spin, maybe 5 out of every 10 throws comes off the hand really well and flies really well. They're not the most experienced athletes. They're maybe the the middle 50-60% of their state level. They're not the top 5 or 10 guys in the state. They're not the bottom guys in the state. They're right in the middle. Your average thrower is going to throw that low spin discus if they've been doing it for a year or two. Now we get into the high spin and the very high spin. What we have here is a high school orange flyer. This is actually my old discus from high school, and this is considered a high spin. This is about 75% rim weight. Now what does that mean? 75% of the weight of the discus is on the rim, so it is no longer evenly balanced. It's not even close. 3/4 of the weight of this implement is the rim, so it's a lot harder to throw. That means in order to see any difference with a high rim weight discus compared to a low rim weight discus, you really have to know, you really have to have it down how to throw this and how to apply force correctly on the rim to get it spinning fast enough. Now the faster that you get the rim spinning, the further the discus is going to go. If you have something that's a little bit higher rim weight and you're able to apply a lot of spin, or you're able to apply a lot of force on the rim, well, it's going to go that much further. And that's where a lot of the questions come in. People think, well, if I buy an 85-90% rim weight discus, it's going to go further. That's true, but only if you're able to apply enough force and enough spin. And that's where people get in trouble. They might not be ready for something like this, but they go ahead and buy it anyway or use it anyway, when in reality they'd be throwing a low rim weight or center rim weight discus a lot further because they're not throwing it properly. Okay, so the guys that'll use this, the girls that'll use this, you're looking at around 150, 160, 170 feet, right in that range. That's where you should be if you're using a high rim weight discus. The last category is the very high rim weight. Really, only about the top 10% of people in the country are going to use this. This means that 10 out of 10 throws are going over 180 feet, 190 feet, 200 feet. It means every time you throw, your footwork is perfect, your hand speed is perfect, your release is perfect, you're putting the perfect amount of spin on the discus, and that doesn't happen for somebody who's a brand new thrower or somebody who's just getting started out. So those discs should be left for just the top tier, the upper echelon of throwers, whether it's girls in high school or college, boys in high school, men in college, and even afterwards. Alright guys, the thing that you need to keep in mind is that a really, really, really good thrower, someone who say can throw 200 feet in high school, can pick up a center weighted discus and probably throw that discus 180, 190 feet. The reason why he's using that high spin discus is to get that little bit extra, the extra couple of feet on the end. That's really what the benefit is. Alright guys, now please subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more. We're going to be doing videos like this a couple times a week. So if you click that button up there and you subscribe to this channel, you get an email in your inbox letting you know when the new video comes out. Any throwers in Rhode Island, any athletes in Rhode Island that need extra help with their strength training, with their form, with their footwork, or with their throws, that's what I do. Please check us out, primalatc.com, or give me a call or an email. All the information is right on the website. Be happy to help you out and help you reach that next level.